Conduct competency assessment simulation. Establish the context and purpose of the assessment. The assessor must familiarize herself with the qualification and units of competency to be assessed. She must also ensure that the assessment venue complies with the occupational health and safety requirements. The competency assessment begins with the assessor preparing the assessment venue and ensuring that all tools, materials, equipment, and assessment documents are available and in good working condition. The assessor also checks that the assessment area complies with occupational health and safety requirements.
Good day, everyone.
Good day, ma'am.
Kindly stand up for a short prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Good day once again, everyone. My name is Trishan Siumboy, and I am an accredited competency assessor for the qualification Beauty Care, Skincare Services Institute. So, as a proof of my accreditation, I have here my ID that serves as that I am a competent assessor for these qualifications. So I have received the assessment package. As you can see, this one is sealed. So this consists of the documents which are the assessor's guide, the competency assessor script, the candidate's guide, and the rating sheets and attendance sheets. But before we start, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Ms. Iana Dayola, our test representative, Ms. Brunette Herman, our tasting manager, and Ms. Chami Aklao, our processing officer. So you don't have to worry about their presence. They are only here to oversee and check if the competency or the conduct of competency is in accordance with the prescribed methodologies and procedures. I will be the one who will read you throughout your performance, and you don't have to be afraid since I will be the one that will read you. So before we start, kindly submit your ID and admission slip, and kindly sign the attendance sheet once I call your name. Miss Grisel Arduran. Miss Rafael Sandra. I have here with me your accomplished application form and self-assessment guide. So this is an indication that you know and can perform the units of competency enumerated in this qualification. So I would like to welcome you all in our assessment center, the Southern Lady State University, Sugod campus. So the purpose of this assessment is to determine the level of your competency. Maybe you are capable of performing specific tasks, but only the basics. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
I can count you as competent if you cannot do the specific task in prescribed level. Okay, today I am going to administer competency assessment for Beauty Care Services or Skincare Services Institute. It is the qualification level with basic, common, and core competencies. And for the core competencies, you are going to perform facial cleansing, perform temporary hair removal activity, and perform body scrub. So for Beauty Care Services or Skincare Services Institute, you are expected to perform the task. First, prepare clients. Second, prepare workstation. Third, perform hair removal procedures. Fourth, perform post-services activities to clients. And fifth, perform post-activities to workstation. So the evidence says that will be collected using 3 ways, which are the demonstration, the observation with oral questioning, and the last one is the written test. Okay, for your personal needs, the comfort room is located at both the ground floor and the second floor of the Southern Leyte State University Sugod Campus building. And if you are going to have your lunch, you can go with the canteen located at the ground floor of the building. And if you brought your own lunch, you can eat here in our assessment room or area. So if you have difficulty or understanding the instructions, don't be afraid to ask me for help so that I can explain that to you. Or if you are having a hard time reading in English, I can translate that into your own local dialect. So now let's proceed with the do's and don'ts for the assessment or for this assessment. So once the assessment has started, you cannot go out unless you have a valid reason and approval from me, as I am your assessor. And as the assessment has already started, you are not allowed to ask questions. And since I have given you enough time for that already. So the rights and appeal system, if you have complaints regarding the outcome of the assessment, you have the right to appeal, and your appeal should be written form and must be submitted to test the provincial office by which assessor and assessment center are accredited. So, as for the issuance of national certificate, so for the issuance of national certificate or certificate of competency, you will be notified in your active Gmail account. So, do you have an active Gmail account?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. So, once the certificate is received, you will be only given or notified at your Gmail account if the assessment center found you as competent for this qualification that you are being assessed. So bring it to the test the provincial office for sealing and authentication purposes, and bring with you a copy of certificate and competency assessment result summary or the CARS. So as for the reassessment procedure, if you are found to be not yet competent, do not worry, you can be reassessed anytime for your convenience. So in case the assessment is full of qualification, you will undergo the whole assessment process. However, if you are found competent in some unit of competency, you will only undergo. So if ever you fail to consecutive assessment, you will be taking a refresher course. So as for the occupational health and safety requirements, so you should please observe proper handling of tools, identify hazards and risks, evaluate hazards and risks, control hazards and risks, and maintain OHS awareness. So in case of accidents, our first aid kits are located beside the door. So for the confidentiality of assessment outcome, we observe strict confidentiality on the report and results of the assessment. So the result will only be handed to the concerned personnel and to the institution where you conducted your assessment. So the assessment package will be placed in a sealed and secured area. Do not share any clue or information regarding the assessment to everyone. So if you have no questions, we'll now introduce to the specific instructions for the candidate. So do you have any more questions? Okay, that's good. Okay, so I have here specific instructions. So, Miss Duran Crisel, you are the first candidate. Let me get this one. And Miss Raquel Sandra, you are the second candidate. Duran, since you are the first candidate, you are going to first enter the assessment area. You are the first one to perform the task. And as for you, Miss Raquel, since you are the second candidate, you are going to wait the waiting room. So, Miss Crisel Duran, can you follow me?
After the orientation, candidate number 1 is called into the assessment area.
So now I have here instructions that you need to follow during this assessment. So please read this so that you can use it as a guide while doing this assessment process. So the first one is using the materials, tools, and equipment. You are required to perform all the tasks in this qualification within 9 hours, and I will be observing you while you are performing the task. The second one is after your demonstration, I will ask you some questions related to the assessment. The third one, after the oral questioning, I will give you feedback about your performance. And the fourth one, you always observe safety precautions all the time. So are there any questions or clarifications regarding the instruction?
None so far, ma'am.
Okay, if you have no more questions, then you can proceed with doing the assessment.
The candidate is instructed to perform the assigned beauty care service following the standard procedures and occupational health and safety requirements. During the practical demonstration, the assessor carefully observes the candidate's performance and records evidence using the prescribed rating sheets.
So now I have here the instructions that you need to follow in doing this assessment. So please read this so that we can use it as a guide during the assessment process. So the first one is using the materials, tools, and equipment. You are required to perform all the tasks in this qualification within 9 hours. I will be observing you while you are performing the task. So the second one, after your demonstration, I will ask you some questions related to the assessment. The third is after the oral questioning, I will give you feedback about your performance. And the last one, and the fourth instruction, is always observe safety precautions all the time. So do you have any more questions or clarifications related to the instructions? Okay, there are no more questions. You may now start the assessment.
After the practical demonstration, the assessor proceeds with oral questioning to assess the candidate's underpinning knowledge. The assessor asks questions related to skincare procedures, workplace safety practices, proper handling of tools and equipment, and client consultation techniques. The candidate's responses are evaluated based on the competency standards. Following the oral questioning, the candidate completes the written examination. The assessor administers and monitors the test to ensure fairness and integrity throughout the assessment process. Same assessment procedures are repeated for the remaining candidates.
Okay, good day, Mr. Ran. Okay, first of all, congratulations for successfully finishing the competency assessment, Mr. Ran. So, may I ask, how did you feel about the assessment? Okay, that's good. So, I will now provide you with the feedback. So, I can see that you gave well prepared and demonstrated confidence in performing the required tasks. So, you were able to effectively carry out the perform before the very involved activity in accordance with prescribed procedures and standard requirements. So, I also observed that you consistently applied proper hygiene, sanitation, and safety practices throughout the activity. So, your techniques were appropriate and the outcome of your work met the expected quality standards. So, this indicates that you are competent in this qualification. So, I have here the copy of the rating sheets and your cars can be signed. Thank you. So, you can get your national certificate from the assessment center by accomplishing a letter of affirmation, sending a copy of your valid ID with specimen signature and putting the certificate in the pesos. Congratulations once again, Mr. Ram. Thank you. Okay, good day, Mr. Rafael. And congratulations for finishing the assessment. So, how did you feel about the assessment? Okay, here's the feedback about the assessment. So, I can see, or I did see that you were able to perform the tasks such as the perform temporary hair removal activity.
However, I noticed that you were not confident in performing the procedures and there were some errors in the correct steps, especially in hygiene, sanitation, and proper handling of tools and equipment. So, I am sorry to tell you that you were not able to perform within the standard requirements of the qualification. So, you have to review or practice the activities related to the competency requirements and the qualification further. So, you can only come back for assessment when you feel confident enough that you have acquired or if you have acquired the competence in this qualification. But don't worry, you will only reassess the parts of the activity if you feel confident with the competent. So here's your copy of your review sheet and this was the parts that okay, so thank you and congratulations.
After the feedbacking, the assessor records the assessment outcomes and carefully completes the competency assessment result summary based on the evidence gathered from the practical demonstration, oral questioning, and written examination. All assessment documents, including the attendance sheet, rating sheets, answer sheets, oral questioning records, and assessment result summaries are thoroughly reviewed to ensure their accuracy, completeness, and compliance with TESTA assessment procedures. Once all records have been verified, the assessor submits the completed assessment package to the Assessment Center Manager. The Assessment Center Manager reviews the documents to ensure that the assessment was conducted fairly, consistently, and in accordance with the established competency assessment methodology. After validation, the assessment records are forwarded to the processing officer. The processing officer is responsible for organizing and filing the assessment documents, updating the registry of workers assessed and certified, and preparing the necessary reports for submission to the appropriate TESTA office. The assessment center manager and the assessor then affix their signature on the required documents to certify the accuracy of the assessment result and accuracy of the assessment records are subsequently endorsed to the TESTA Provincial Office through the designated TESTA representative for documentation, verification, and certification purposes.